Hey dudes and girls, the votes are in and we're doing leg mistakes for this video. Thank you for requesting it. That is on the way, but first, a preview of Social Media Psycho. It's a tongue-in-cheek look at social media in our day and age. Me and Brandon have been working on it along with the Gearmark crew for the past couple months. It comes out this upcoming Monday, so check out this trailer, and then it's on to the leg mistakes. Hell yeah.
I have all the popular social media apps: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, but no true identity, only a profile. When I beef up my muscles or slim down my waistline, I make sure not to warp the background. I oftentimes see that mistake in other people's photos. Five common mistakes to avoid when trying to build big legs. Number 1, don't forget that mobility. This is the first link in the common legs mistake chain. Not being mobile sets off a domino effect that helps create all the other mistakes to avoid on this list. So this is one you really want to focus on. It's easy to want to jump directly into the heavy-ass weight, but not performing mobility exercises beforehand can lead to improper range of motion, performing the exercise incorrectly, or worse, injury. Get in a good habit of warming up and performing lower body mobility for at least 10 minutes before beginning your workout. Your body will thank you for it. As I said, this ties in directly with others on this list, and that includes range of motion. By performing mobility, you'll be able to take your ass below parallel on squats, keep your heels planted firmly on the sled or ground while performing leg press, squats, and more. So don't forget that mobility, and remember proper range of motion in order to get the most out of every leg exercise. Number 2, there's no easy way out. In the wise words of Robert Tepper from the Rocky IV soundtrack, there's no easy way out, there's no shortcut home. Robert may have done, a slightly better job, but hey, I tried my best. And it's a song that I think to myself all the time when doing exercises on leg day. The most important takeaway from this mistake is realizing that legs are a necessary evil. Whether you're one of the few sadistic bastards who actually enjoy performing walking lunges, you Ramsey Bolton motherfucker you, or you're one of those on the opposite side of the spectrum, that would be us, who don't necessarily enjoy it, but they know they have to do it in order to build that buff dude's physique. And legs is definitely one of those things you're gonna have to do to remain aesthetic. So you've made it the goal to hit legs at least once a week in the gym. That's awesome. But remember, at this job, your boss is Mr. Quads and Mr. Hamstrings. And if you half-ass it, those legs are gonna know, and you're never gonna grow. Now, you could half-ass it and not build legs if maybe you're waiting for the triumphant return of Junko pants. But if that's the case, you got a long wait. Don't round your back. Back straight, chest up. This is a great thing to keep in mind when performing any variation of the squat, as most people, especially beginners, have a tendency to round their back when performing squats, along with other leg exercises such as Romanian deadlifts. Rounding your back could come from simply not knowing proper form or trying to lift way too much weight, and should be avoided, as rounding your back could result in disc injuries, which are incredibly painful, and in some instances, lifelong. Not cool. If you're afraid you may have improper form, or if you're scared you may be rounding your back, try and have a friend evaluate your form. And if that's not an option, go ahead and record yourself performing the exercise. Better safe and injury-free than sorry. Keep those heels planted firmly on the ground. This one's important for leg press, hack squats, Romanian deadlifts, and squats. This can be due to limited ankle mobility, tying right into our chain reaction number 1 mistake, or the fact that you don't realize you're doing it, or just improper form in general. Make sure those heels are planted firmly on the ground or on the leg press sled. Your future self will thank you for it. Don't let your knees track inward. Make sure your knees are tracking in line with your toes and not inward. This is one of the most common mistakes seen in lower body exercises, particularly the squat and leg press. And, like most mistakes on this list, it increases your risk of injury. This often happens because of weak hip abductors And to avoid this, you could give banded squats a try. This is where you'll place a band around the top of the knee. It will create tension and it will remind you to keep your knees in line with your toes during the movement. If you're having trouble tracking them in line with your toes, give those banded squats a shot. They're excellent. Don't forget those hamstrings. This muscle group, much like calves and triceps, are often forgotten due to the fact that you can't see them. But just because you can't see them doesn't mean you shouldn't be working them. Many people suffer from having tight hamstrings, and again, mobility and stretching are great to include in your program to help relieve this problem. Along with mobility and stretching, remember to implement exercises into your leg day such as Romanian deadlifts or glute ham raises. Both excellent hamstring isolation exercises and two that me and Brandon both really enjoy. All right, dudes and girls, that wraps it up. 5 common leg mistakes you should avoid when trying to build big legs. Thanks for this suggestion, and suggest some more in the comments below. Probably gonna tackle calves next, unless of course you have another idea. So, get out there and kiss those chicken legs goodbye. Oh yeah, and stay buff.